Good morning. Happy Thursday. We're back. It is a blessed day. Happy to be alive. It's going to be a good day. Good morning, Taz. How are you, man? Good to see you in the chat. You've been consistent in there. Wow. I'm excited to see you in there. It means you're trading. Right. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm ordering my coffee from Starbucks. I didn't get any coffee this morning. I choose you. Right. Un momento, por favor. All right, check out. Don't mind me. Uh-huh. Alrighty. Today we have a couple news events. Good morning, Seth Tyler. Tyler's a good name. All right. Check out the markets today. We have 8:30 a.m. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. Unemployment claims, building permits, housing starts, a plethora of news events going on today, 8:30 again. However, let's check out the charts and see what we got planned for today as far as trading. Markets, the equities are gapping down this morning. Dow's down 264 points so far and counting. Looking at the Dow, we are sitting here with this rejection zone, 33,800 area. 4 hour broke through this triangle here, found resistance, and then now we're dropping below this 30.35. Coming back down to fill some of Thursday's move here. Looking for a nice pullback today in the equities. So if I'm trading the Dow, the US30, what I'd like to see, ideally, so since we broke this low, and now what I'd like to see is a retracement back up towards 33.5 to look for shorts. And then a continuation down for the day towards 33,000 even, maybe, if we can, have a little bit of a pep in our step today. But regardless, Dow shorts at 33.5 would be ideal. Taking a look at the Dixie. Basing here at this 106 even from this previous drop we had from last Thursday. Sitting in this range, it's 106, or I guess 107 even, is our most recent resistance that we're forming. However, if you look at the 4 hour, the way the 4 hour setting up, it's basing in here, broke the low, closed back above, and we're getting this ascending volume on the RSI, showing a little bit of strength in here. So it seems like the dollar could have a nice rally today with this nice 4 hour close we just had. A rally through highs up towards 108.5, retesting this breakdown zone. So if we get a nice rally in the dollar today, which seems to be setting up for that scenario, then that supports our Dow shorts. And we'll see where gold and oil are at, because that'll support some gold and oil shorts as well. So we'll take a look at those in a second. But dollar, I'd want to see it maintain. I want to see it maintain price above 106.5 here. If it breaks below 106.5, then it could be another inside day and maintaining accumulation in this zone here. So, but it seems to me that the Dixie, as it's creating these higher lows, wedging up into its 107 even here, that it's ready to bust out after this multi-day accumulation phase. Taking a look at the 10-year rates. Again, 10-year rates still basing in here. Taking a look at the daily. Daily finding some support at 368, 360, 3680 area. 4 hours finding some support there as well. 4 hour nice bullish close. So looking for a continuation as we start basing here, creating these higher lows, nice bullish engulfing, finding some support at this neckline. So I'd expect the rates to have a little bit of a rally today as well. Maybe coming up to retest this trend line here. Regardless, ideally we see a pop in the rates and a pop in the dollar today to support some trading out there. So we'll see. Taking a look at gold. Gold's daily showing some rejection at 1785. Previous area of rejection in the last few months. Looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour seems like it's ready for a decent pullback here. We were creating this grind of a channel on the way up here. Just broke through this grind, and now it seems like we might have a retracement back up towards 1773 if we do retrace that far and then we drop. So let's look at lower time frames to check out to see what's happening in the 1770 area that the last 4 hour rejected, because maybe that's our max pain point here as far as retracements. And it seems like it. I really wouldn't want to see it actually price above 1770 here, because that was our major shelf that we've been sitting on the last couple days of grinding action, where we saw a lot of rejection in here. And now this morning we saw that 4 hour rejection to that 1770 area, and we had a big exhaustion, a big buyer's exhaustion wick there. Seller stepped in, brought it back down. So now we're stuck in this range, finding some support at 1762. Looking at the 30-minute and the 15-minute. Yeah, the 30-minute, I mean, we're sitting here with this double bottom. So we'll see what happens. I don't like to sell on breakouts or breakdowns or anything. I don't like to play big breakout trades. They're not as successful. And the stop loss area, just, it's not great playing breakouts with your stop loss. So ideally I look for shorts. Maybe you want to pop up to 1770 again, and then we look for a drive down. Looking at the lower time frames, let's take a look at the 15-minute. I mean, gold's already almost in my sell zone. I wouldn't really necessarily need to see it back up to 1770 because we already saw such a strong rejection from there. So maybe one more tap of like the 66 here. one more retest of this resistance at 1768. That's where this lid was before we popped up and then went back below. So if I can see one more retest of 1768, then I'll look for some shorts. And the shorts will look something like this. Stops above the high here. And then I'll look for a drive down through the lows. And looking at Fibonacci's here, from the most recent swing high. Really? From the most recent swing high to then the most recent swing low here. We did just reach this 38.2% retracement. So would be nice to see one more tap of that 38.2 and then we start dumping to show that we're really finding some resistance there. But anywhere in this range here is valid sells for me. So I'll be keeping an eye on gold if we can get gold to approach 1768 to 1770. And then if I were to use the negative 27 as a guidance of my take profit, we're looking at around a 3.8, almost a 4-to-1 risk reward. And if you drew the Fibonacci's correctly, the negative 27% usually falls in line with a pretty important area of support on the chart, and it does, right? You look at this area where the negative 27% is this pivot point here, this massive rejection area here, this rejection area here. So this area is going to be that's what I mean by negative 27%. You just use it as a guidance in scenarios where you can use Fibonacci's, because then you're looking for that swing continuation. I'm looking for I have this leg down, this leg up, and now I'm looking for another leg down, and this leg down is now creating a new swing low, and typically it's going to be at that negative 27% retracement, which is in line with a pretty important area on the charts. So gonna keep an eye on those gold shorts. Being devil's advocate here, because I don't want to go in with too strong of a bias, because if I go in with such a strong bias saying the dollar's going to go long, then I tend not to even look at the other, the other side of the equation here. I mean, if you look at gold here, and this is a play that I've played often, when you have these channels, and you get the channel break, which is right here, something to look for to tell when is the channel break coming to an end and when are we continuing back up in that direction is you see this break, you see a double bottom, and then it continues on up from here. So devil's advocate, that's something that I want to keep an eye on, is now that we're creating this double bottom here outside of that trend line break, it could be in a scenario to where it was just a quick break and now we continue back up towards the highs. So in that case, maybe the Dixie has another inside day. I don't know. So that's something to keep an eye on there. And so I'm not going to take any blind sells at this point. I'm going to just wait to see how price reacts in this range to see if we can get any confirmed rejections for sells. Otherwise, if we're looking for longs, we'll look for a break, a retest, and then a continuation towards highs. So those are the two scenarios I'm going to keep an eye on this morning for gold. Taking a look at oil. Oil's at this very interesting area here. this 84 even. It's our pivot point back from October of 2021. If you look even farther back, it's a pivot point back in October, or I guess even November of 2012. And it's just an area where you've seen some rejection before. So this 84, interesting area to keep an eye on for rejection, because that's where we've seen some rejection and some wicks in the past. Looking at the daily, same story. This is a big area on the daily. It's a big area on the daily that we've seen a lot of exhaustion, a lot of sellers exhaustion. Same area here. This is where that that swing point is, that rejection double top. This is where we've seen that support area. So definitely keeping an eye on this area here. What did I just do? What is going on here? Okay, I don't know what I just did. Anyway, so looking at the 4 hour. So it's going to be tough because this area here, it's an area that we've seen some rejection before, but it's also an area that we've fought through to then reject 83, at least on the lower time frames. 83 is here, 83 is here. So definitely keeping an eye on this area here, because the last 4 hour closed bullish. This 4 hour had a rejection and had a straight bearish move down, but now we're into this area here that we've seen a lot of rejection before. So I'm keeping that in mind because I don't know if I want to sell into that. This is something that I usually like to buy into to expect a similar rejection, but I wouldn't want to buy here because it's in the middle of, like, you know, it is a rejection area that we've seen. It's a pivot point, but it's not a major area that I'm seeing currently. Using most recent analysis is going to be around 83, 83.50. So ideally, you know, if I'm looking for longs, it's going to be in this zone right here. This zone right here. And so for oil, if I'm playing longs today, I'm going to be looking for longs as we start dipping into 83, if we do get that. If not, then shorts. I mean, this will look. I talked about the same trade of the day, right? Talked about the trade of the day back when I shorted against this trend line here. Yesterday when I shorted against this trend line, and so again, if shorts come into play, I'll just look to short against that same exact trend line and a dump down, right? So those are my two scenarios for oil: either buy against 83 for rally back up, or sell against that trend line around 86 to push down to 83. So those are going to be my two scenarios for oil today. Taking a look at pound yen. Pound yen is in this nasty, nasty, nasty choppy range here. It's been tough, dude. It's been a tough trader. I was trying to take positions last night, but it was just so choppy. So I ended up getting out around break even on them. But now looking at it, we're sitting at this trend line that we've been buying against the last couple of days, the last few days, and now we're sitting at it again. We're also coming down to retest this trend line break back from October 31st that we've been finding some resistance against. So this is an area I was keeping an eye on for potential longs for pound yen, because we've been knocking on this door of 166, 215 and it's been such a strong rejection zone. But we've seen that once you knock on it enough, you get that break. And so do we have enough momentum in pounds to break through there? So if you expect that, GJ's being schizophrenic since yesterday. Yeah, dude, it's been nasty. It really has been. But pound yen, I'd like to see some longs personally to see if we can get this break. Because if you look at the daily, the last 3 days have been bullish, trying to, even the last 4 days, trying to break through this 166 200. Yesterday closed very strong, and now today we're coming down to retest this rejection area of 165.3. 4 hour, same story. So I'd like to pick up some longs as we're approaching this zone in here, this 4 hour zone. 1 hour as well. We're seeing some selling right now, so I'm gonna have to be patient on this one. I'd look to pick some up in pound yen around 165 200 is where I'll look to pick some pick some buys up at. $30-minute closed, or 30-minute close, 15-minute close. Pound yen very bearish. So again, I'm going to look to pick some up if we get another push, secondary push down to 165.2 area. Gold. Closed with a nice rejection candle here. So sells look decent. But again, I don't know if I want the sells because of this potential double bottom here. So I'm going to wait for these. Not an ideal setup right now. Oil. Stuck in this range. 30 minutes seems to be finding some support. These higher lows. So it might get a little bit of a pop here in oil. Out of this rejection zone here. XAU flagging at highs here. See if there's any headlines overnight. Yeah, not much overnight. Pound yen entering a buying zone here. Nick in the chat. Good morning, dude. How are you doing today? What's going on? Pound yen could be at an interesting buying point here. Oh, nice. Nice sells. I was in sells overnight, sitting around here, but then got out break even. And then I was like, oh, maybe we can like break out longs here. I don't do it. It was just so choppy area here. This whole range here, just super choppy. Good, man. Feeling good. Feeling blessed. No trades yet for me this morning, but I am feeling good and I'm ready to rock and roll. Just waiting for things to set up. Not ideal areas right now. I wanted gold sells like 15 minutes ago, but I'm not a fan of this double bottom here, and I just don't like that. So I opted out on the gold sells. I'm looking for pound yen longs here. Decent area of 4-hour and 1-hour rejection that we're now approaching. Also approaching this trend line here. Also retesting this trend line break of these highs here. So an interesting buying area for pound yen is what I'm mainly stalking right now. Other than that, I'm just kind of letting gold show its hands a little bit because I'm not a huge fan of this consolidation it's sitting in. I'd like to see something else other than this. Maybe like a retest of 1772 again for sells, because we did break structure on gold. broke structure, found some resistance at 1770. It's also 38.2% retracement. So like gold sells are looking nice. And I think we can get a sell off back down to like 1728, but I wanted to see like another retest and then like dump. What's going on, Mel? UK's Chancellor Hunt. The UK are in a recession. UK's in a recession. Europe's in a recession. Yeah, no, it's seeing a nice sell-off, down about 300 points in the Dow. I think this is a start of a continued sell-off in the markets. Running into a pretty major area of rejection on the monthly here. Big rejection zone. Looking even at the weekly. Again, even if you want to narrow it down, big exhaustion rejection zone here. So I think we're about to see the start of another sell-off in the market. Recession is nothing major now. It's about how bad it goes. Yeah. Right. I think what we'll see here is we're actually broken through this trend line here for the Dow. Broke through, had a retest, and now we're dumping here. So I think this is a start of a really nice sell-off. ES had a nice retest on the backside of this trend line here. Now looks like it's ready to roll over as well. Dixie's tempting a breakout here, so we'll see if the Dixie gets a rally from this 106, 107 area. It's putting some pressure on gold and the equities. Pound yen finding support at this dip buying area that I was keeping an eye on. $15-minute close. Pound yen finding support here. If I can get a pound yen to retest this rejection zone, I'll look for buys. I'll take buys there. Gold, 15-minute, nice bearish close, sitting at this support area, creating these lower highs though. Dixie attempting the breakout. Yeah, exactly, Mo. Good news is bad news. UK GDP to recover to pre-pandemic level in Q4 of 2024. It's another 2 years. Nice. Good for you guys. Really kicking it off strong. Yeah. And they're going to get that drop. Gold attempting to break the lows. Ideally for gold, we see a break and then some type of retracement, create a lower high, and then a look for continued sells. If we get that break, all right. What's the Dixie doing? Dixie breaking out still? Dixie's still attempting to break out here. Give me 1 second. Ooh, 1 second. right. Gold rejecting that sell zone. Dow down 311 now. Bitcoin found its new support zone here for now. Yeah, gold and silver, nice sells overnight. I think metals see a continued sell-off for a couple of days. Indices, I want to see sells on as well. They're all breaking structure. Dow breaking this long-term trend line here. Had a break and retest, and now we're dumping. So I'd like to see nice Dow retracements, maybe towards 33,450, 33,500. Then I'll look for sells. ES retested the backside of this trend line here and is now dumping below its support at 39.64. So ES retracements for nice sells. NASDAQ, nice 4-hour engulfing bar. Broke through support here. Support at 11,709. So ideally we see some type of rejection at this liquidity zone here for the NASDAQ. And then you get a rally up towards maybe 11,750 area. That'd be the max pullback I'd want to see. So somewhere in this zone is where I'd like to see sells for the NAS. And then dump from there. Yeah, dude, gold's been pinned in a nasty range, so you're probably right. TLT. I know TLT is pulling back a little bit after hours, but the zone we're approaching now, if you look at this area back from 2013, massive rejection, just a massive like pivot point where we couldn't push down after strong selling, and it caused a massive rally up. Looking at current price action, this is where we're now sitting and retesting. So we're likely to see a little bit of a pullback here in the TLT. I don't know how much. I don't know. You know, we were on this really long channel down that we just broke. Looking at the weekly chart. Coming up to a lower high point. So TLT, I feel like, is coming to its rally here is coming to a close end, is what I'm feeling. So whether it's at an end already, you know, this 100 and 150 strong area of resistance. So again, I'd be careful of this tip. I mean, back in 2018, massive rejection wick. Back in 2020, a massive rejection wick here, and that's where we're actually butting up against now. Is this 10750 area, and that's where we're actually pulling back from after hours. Where I guess there is no really after hours, but that's where we're gonna start pulling back from. So could start seeing that rollover as well. Saw some TLT yesterday. Probably a good idea. I probably would have sold some yesterday as well, heading into that 101.50. Probably pick some up at lower prices. Very likely. V-tip. Interesting. Also sitting here at this pretty strong rejection area. Bear flagging at that rejection area, so looking a little dicey here as well. Eight o'clock volume now in play. Dixie hourly closed above 107. Or I guess closed at 107. Closed above this previous resistance here. So Dixie looks like it might get a little bit of a rally in Al starting here. Looking at the Dow. Dow hourly closed weak. Still looking for a retracement on sells for that one. Gold still testing this support zone. Yeah, so a lot of things still setting up. Nice hourly close on pound yen rejection. If I could see another retest of this lows, I'll look to pick some up, but yeah, 8:30 we have a bunch of stuff coming out. Philly Fed manufacturing, unemployment claims, building permits, housing starts. So maybe things just chill until then. Fuller talking, what, right now or at 8:30? Let me pull up my other. When's Bullard talking? I see Fed Mester, Fed Bowen. Bullard's talking right now. Bullard cites policy rules suggesting rates of between 5 to 7%. I feel like he's always talking. This motherfucker, dude. Does not stop talking. Range of restrictive policy estimates could be lower in inflation falls. Notes market expects disinflation 2023. Does not comment in prepared remarks on recommended action for Fed December meeting. Dude, why? Like, is he just saying this random shit? Monetary rule would set lower bound and restrictive policy of around 5% versus current Fed target rate range of 3.75 to 4%. Even dovish assumptions about the state of monetary policy warrant further rate increases. Is the market moving down on that? Yeah. Market's starting to dipsy daisy on that. Dollar's moving up pretty hard. Yeah, my guy's talking about 7%. What? Rates of between 5 and 7%. 7%. Yikes. Dixie moving up. Nice. Dow's dropping pretty hard still. Down 380 points. ES dropping. Wow, gold. Nice big down bar on gold here. So ideally for gold, what we see is we see some type of retracement towards 1762. And then I'll look for a sell-off of that for a continuation down. Although fucking Boulder being out right now. Rates need to be increased further to curb inflation. Monetary rule would set lower bound. Oh, I already read that. Hikes have only had a limited impact so far on inflation. Rates. Not sure I want to play anything right now with Bullard shooting his shit. Yes, downside target 39.10. Yeah, I like 39.10 area as well. $39.10 to $39.15. Scenario I'll be watching as well. Still cratering down here. Nice down move here in the markets. Copper's now retesting an interesting area here. And Dow's weak. Approaching a 33,175. Going to be an area that I want to see it reject and where we can have this retracement for sells, because if it starts breaking this zone here, it's super clean price action just looking down. So I'd want to see a hold here and rally. Seen a nice pop in rates. Nice pop in rates since Buller's been talking. Which is causing that tailspin in the equities. Yeah, dude, I was looking at this inversion here. It just keeps dying. Look at this. Damn, dude. Last time we were this low was back in 2019. This is where we had bottomed. Sitting here now, so it's bloodbath out there. I was talking to Mike about this one earlier. Ugly. I think they're selling too much already. I mean, look, there's bullers out there talking about 7% rates. Yeah, I mean, the bullers out there talking right now, Mo, if you haven't been watching. And bullers out there saying that, you know, he keeps hiking up of where he expects the rates to lie between. Now he's saying between 5 and 7%. Now he's saying 7%. So, doing a good job of talking the market down. Throwing higher and higher numbers out there. Where'd 7% come from? So, yeah, that's why we're seeing the market puke here. Short term. Ay, ay, ay. It's crazy, dude. A nice pop in oil here. At daily, we see a nice pop in oil, so I can take shorts. I think it's due for one. Strong slide overnight here. Then we've been just grinding, and I'm looking for a little bit of a retracement heading into New York Open. I guess we're in a New York Open now. 15-minute closed. Gold closed below 1762. Where's the Dixie closed above 107? Important zone. Dow's sitting at a very interesting area here that I want to see it hold. Fed saw the market was up. They're like, all right, we got to send Bullard out. Unleash the hounds. All right, guys. The new short-term rate, 7%. That should do it. That should do it, pal. That should do it. Yeah, dude. That's what they do. They bring all the freaking Fed heads out. You got Bullard, you got Mester out coming. You got that's his backup. So you got Bullard as the starter, and you got the reliever is Mester, and in there to just throw a little bit of shit in the pile is Bauman. So Bowman. So yeah, throw them all out there. Kashkari's coming out a little later. Jefferson. Shit, why not? They really got to bring this market down, yeah? It's fucking hilarious, dude. I don't think he'll talk about that today. There's no reason for it. I mean, you know, maybe. I mean, he's already out talking now. Employment claims comes at 8:30. That's what you got your backups for. You got you got Messer coming out and Bowman. You know, maybe they'll start talking about employment's being a drag shit show. Alrighty. Oil. I'd like to see oil break through this top here and get a nice little rally. I was looking at UNG. If we could get a bit more of a retracement on this last bar. We're at a tough spot for nat gas here. Tough spot. Retesting the backside of this trend line here. Retesting this rejection zone. It's tough. If nat gas can break through this 665, then I think you're good for a nice rally, but it's gonna be tough. UNG's even sitting right below this with this nice retest here and failure. So stuck in this consolidation here. I don't know, dude. This is tough. This one's tough. Nine minutes left until everything comes out. equities trying to find some support. Gold pushing back up in this range here. Not touching gold right now. Not interested. Oh, right, Comex. Thanks. I've been so just not focused on gold because it's been... Okay. All right, you mean Comex is actually doing something this time? Comex pushing back above this 1762 support. This move here, fake out. So looks like gold wants, if we close back above 1762 on the 5 minute in the next 2 minutes, then I think we get a nice continuation back towards 1770. What is that? OI dropped a bit. What's OI? What is that? Oh, okay. Open interest. Got it. Well, that makes sense. You need to have Mal speaking instead of Buller because he's more bearish. Yeah, give Mal the spotlight for like 5 minutes and Mark will be at lows. Five minutes left until 8:30. Wow, nice overnight dump. Yeah, Mark. You know, you got it started dumping already, and then you had Buller come out and start talking his shit. So, yeah. Oil's pushing nice through this top I was talking about. If oil, I'd love to see oil close above 84.30 because then I think we get a nice rally for potential sells later. Do you say neg? Gapping flat. Damn. Now I would do a proper 1,000 basis point hike, and then Mark would insta drop to 3K, and then we tell him, but we like neg, and he'd do another 2. Oh my god. It's funny. A proper 1,000 basis point hike. 3 minutes left. Alrighty. Gold fifth 5 minute closed back above this 1762. So catching a little bit of a bid from this drop here. So this seems like a nice fake out to potentially continue a little higher to where I wanted to see sells. Minute and a half. I want to see an inverted head and shoulder setup on gold in the afternoon here. A little play. 5 minute. One minute left. Gold seems like it might want to pop out of here. The fact that it closed back above this double bottom, this triple bottom after dropping and pushing back above, not looking too good there. Oil. Boo. I wanted to see it close above. Boo. Only have one shorter / head. Yeah. Dude's predicting like into the future. 20 seconds left. Yeah, it does need a base. You're right. That rejection wick on gold. All right, let's pull up my feed. See what kind of news we get. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Yep. And let me know if you guys see anything on the news. Doesn't seem like much happened considering the market's not really moving off of it. Okay. Unemployment claims came in lower than expected. Beat expectations. But yeah, like you said, nothing crazy though. More or less in line, but better than expected. Mostly what I was watching. Yeah, right. So yeah, Philly manufacturing Fed index, holy cannoli, came in way lower than expected. Like, wow. Oh man, that is not looking too good at all. Manufacturing came in at negative 19.4 from forecasting -6 from previous minus 8.7. Yeah, big stiffy there. Gold closed back above this range here. It's just them talking about it's manufacturers talking about like the business conditions, and so typically above zero indicates improving conditions, and below indicates worsening conditions. We're obviously well below and way worse than expected. So the sentiment in the manufacturing industry in Philadelphia is looking piss poor. So seems like this could be a nothing day. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, there's really nothing going on out there. Gold's back in its range here. Only thing I'm going to be watching is if oil can get this pop up into like 85. Pound yen, not really doing much of chopping around. So I'll also be watching the Dow to see if the Dow can get a pop up into like 33.4 to look for sells. So housing starts came in line. Building permits came in line. So nothing new there. But yeah. So yeah. But I'm going to leave it at that. Nothing really else going on today. Long the Dow. Dude, don't tempt me to long the Dow here. Do not tempt me, because that's something I would do. Alright, guys. I'm going to hop off. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see if we get anything playing out later in the day. I'll see you in Discord. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, it's going to be a great day. Alright, guys. Have a good one. Peace.